Then we have the main event of the evening. We got Glover Teixeira working for his belt again, taking on Jamahal Hill. As we all know, there's a little bit of a switcheroo here. Glover was supposed to do the rematch with, what the hell's his name? Oh, my God.
Yuri Prohaska, you goldfish.
Yeah, Prohaska. It is crazy. As soon as they said, I'm like that dude from... not remembering this isn't helping. From 51st Dates. I'm like the dude from 51st Dates. It's just like... Anyway.
51st
No, wasn't it the guy in the... No. It's Drew Barrymore, yes, but then they go to the brain nut house and they meet that guy who literally has a 10-second memory.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, see? It's not that bad. Anyway, we got Glover Teixeira taking on Jamahal Hill. Glover is supposed to fight Yuri Prohaska. How anybody can forget that is beyond me. Yuri's done the worst shoulder injury that's ever existed. And now we have Jamahal Hill. I don't want to necessarily call it short notice because it's been like 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. 4 weeks, I think.
Enough time.
Yeah, so it's not short notice per se, but it's not a full camp. It's not a full 6-week camp for a title fight.
I don't know though, because he was getting ready for Anthony Smith right around this date. So
I thought Anthony Smith was March, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I might be wrong there, but
it was next month.
I could be wrong. I thought it was March. Either way, like it's short notice, but I don't think that's a factor at all. Glover Teixeira, 33-8. He's 4-1 in his last 5. His only loss in that 5 was that last-second submission loss to Jiri. If you remember, he was dominating Jiri Prohaska, having success striking, having success grappling. He was winning that fight. He was literally 30 seconds away from maintaining his belt or retaining his belt. Couple of scramble decisions literally cost him that entire, and he was exhausted. Cost him that fight. Taking on Jamahal Hill, 11-1 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He's riding a 3-fight knockout win streak. That one loss was like, I don't want to call it a fluke, but it was that wild armbar loss to Paul Craig, where it just snapped. And this is an interesting fight.
He just kept fighting also, like Forrest Griffin. He arm snapped, he's like, yeah, whatever. Well, I get popped out of place, not snap, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he was able to come back like inside of a year. But he, frankly, Jamahal Hill's tough. He's dangerous. I know Glover Teixeira personally. I'm from Connecticut. He's not from Connecticut, but he has been there since 2003, minus some time that he's had to go to Brazil. So I've spent a lot of time with him at a personal level for a while. So I'm never going to pick against a friend, right? With that being said, if I put that aside and think about this logically, Jamahal Hill, as we know, is a very dangerous striker, and he's bragging about a jiu-jitsu brown belt. Okay, I don't know what. That's not going to help you. Glover Teixeira, a jiu-jitsu black belt, who early in his career was was known as incredible power striker. He's a striker with this incredible power who happens to also do jiu-jitsu. Now that he's getting older, he's grappling a lot more. He's wrestling a lot more. He's using that a lot more. And he's just murdering people with it. And I get it. The Jiri fight, he literally lost that fight. He got exhausted. It was a full 25 minutes. But if we look at the Jan Blachowicz fight, he dropped Jan, or like wobbled him with his hands, then worked in the grappling, then got it done. So Glover still has a ton of power. He does have a 43-year-old chin, but he's got phenomenal wrestling, phenomenal grappling. He's ridiculously strong. Jamahal Hill was taken down 6 times by Thiago Santos. If Glover gets Jamahal Hill down 3 times, that's enough. He's not going to need 6 times because Glover has insane top pressure. And he will elbow, and he will beat you up, and he will make you work. And look what he did to Anthony Smith's face with that top pressure. So I think Glover gets this to the ground, and I think he beats up Jamahal Hill. And I just think that's how that goes. Obviously, he's 43 years old, and Jamahal Hill's a sniper. But I think Glover comes in here, gets the takedowns. Obviously, was training his ass off for an incredibly tough guy. His game plan in that fight was the grappling. It worked for him outside of that scramble. I'm sure he's been wrestling like a beast, and that's what he's going to come out here and do. What do you think?
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up the Anthony Smith thing because Anthony Smith was supposed to fight Jamahal Hill. Jamahal Hill gets this fight. Anthony Smith's, I'll help train you. What the hell is he supposed to learn from Anthony Smith in this situation? Right?
He's just going to tell him he's very strong.
Yeah, he's like, maybe don't get put on your back. No, but I think I think you made valid points. And the thing about Glover Teixeira, you see this in basketball all the time, right? Like Vince Carter is a great example of it. Vince Carter was banging on everybody, right? Playing above the rim better than anybody ever has and anybody ever will. And then as he got older, he's shooting. Glover Teixeira, heavy-handed boxer earlier in his career. As he gets older, gets pieced up a couple of times. Let me just lean on my jiu-jitsu, my crazy physical strength, my bear-like grappling, right? Get on top of guys and just make them quit, just break them. And he's had a lot of success doing that. And he could totally do the same thing to Jamahal Hill this week. But, and I know you and I talked a little bit off camera the other day, since Jamahal Hill was on the Contender Series, I told anybody who would listen that he'd be the champion one day, because you don't see a whole lot of guys in these heavier weight classes putting straight punches together the way that this guy does, mixing it up to the body as well, and just controlling the pace of the fight and dictating where the action goes with his hands. Nobody does it like Jamahal Hill. If Glover Teixeira spends more than 5 minutes on the feet here, I think he gets knocked out. If Jamahal Hill spends more than 3 minutes on the mat, he probably gets submitted. I'm torn. I think that Jamahal Hill has all the tools. I know that Glover has all the tools, but what happens if Glover wins this fight? Do you think he keeps defending the title, or do you think it's last fight in Brazil, win the title, I'm out of here?
I have no idea, obviously, but I think it would be amazing if he won this fight and retired right there. You're 43, you're in Brazil, you just headlined a card, won your belt back, literally nothing else to prove. Leading up to this fight, actually leading up to the first Jiri fight, they just ran through all the stats. He has so many records, most knockouts, most submissions. Like he has so many records. It's crazy. And he didn't get popular till like 3 years ago when he went on that streak of just murdering guys. And then people got to see his personality because he's like really funny and nice and like a good person. Even in
2014 when he fought John Jones, people were like, who is this guy? And that fight didn't do any favors for him. But, you know, like you said, a couple years after that, just went on a relentless streak.
He went on that relentless streak, and so people haven't started really paying attention to him till recently when he's the grappler, and they forget that he has the power in his hands. And the Jan Blachowicz is a good... Go watch that fight. You'll see how he won it, but he pieced up Jan. That Polish power didn't matter. Glover was the one who clearly had more power in that fight, clearly.
Jiri Prochazka's power didn't matter either. But I feel like Jiri Prochazka had a really hard time landing cleanly on Glover, but he also threw a lot of looping punches. And Jiri fights terribly, but he's so effective because he's just a monster of a man. But he fights terribly. Like he throws naked uppercuts with his backhand, right? Like it's bad. Jamahal Hill's way more technical, so he's not going to see the same thing. And if he does get hit, it's going to be a lot more flush. But I don't know. This is a super tough fight. I'm surprised Jamahal Hill is the favorite here. I'm surprised that the line looks like that.
I think that Jamahal Hill,
but I also think that if Jamahal Hill fought Jiri Prochazka, he knocks him out. I think Jiri Prochazka, that chin just hanging out there. And even when Glover fought him, right? Final round, Jiri Prochazka's chin's hanging out there. Glover cracks him, but then he jumps that guillotine. And
that decision cost him the whole thing. Yeah, that decision cost him. And you know, it is what it is. You're in a fist fight for 25 minutes. He was in no real danger that entire fight, so it probably felt safe and opportunistic, and you know, unfortunately that's what happened.
And by the end of the fight, Jiri Prochazka cinches up a rear naked choke with no hooks in. Do you think that was just power from Prochazka, or do you think he was exhausted?
I think it's both. I think Glover was exhausted because, you know, being the offensive wrestler is exhausting. So I think he was exhausted, and it was clean. Like it was just clean. Like you could squeeze. It's clean.
If he was fresh, I think he would have exploded out of it or rolled or did something and maybe create a little bit of space in there. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I still think Jamahal Hill wins. He's still my pick here.
Sure.
I like the cardio that he showed last time out against Thiago Santos, because Thiago Santos was pushing a wrestling heavy pace and he carried his power late. He still was in good shape late. He's going to come in better shape this time because people were dragging him for his dad bod that he rocks in there. But
he still kind of has a dad bod, which is crazy.
I think it's just a weird rib cage that he has. He looks like he's wearing a life preserver. Like he looks like a cop. But I think that I think that he gives a good account of himself, but this is a coin flip matchup. Glover's an absolute dog. I'll ask you this, though. Do you think that going to war with Yuri Prohaska at 42, 43 years old, last time out, takes anything off of him?
I don't think so. Like, so
No.
what's remarkable about Glover is after that John Jones loss, there were a couple of fights where it's like, oh man, his chin, he's been in some of these fights, but it's been like fantastic lately. Like his chin has been amazing in these last couple of fights at 42, 43. So I don't necessarily, he's in great shape. He works. He's one of the most self-motivated people on the planet. So he has a gym in Connecticut, it's his gym, and he has surrounded himself with other great hardworking people. And obviously this last camp, Dominic Reyes went there and stuff like that. We've heard about that, but he is very self-motivated. He will push himself and keep going and push other. So like, that's why he is a not like you will not see him quit in a fight. He'll get tired. Everybody gets tired. He'll push a pace, but yeah, I get it. I think very simply, if Thiago Santos can take down Jamahal Hill 6 times, Glover can as well. He's the better wrestler, the stronger wrestler, the better grappler, the stronger grappler. I don't think he'll need 6 times. I don't think he'll need it because that top pressure is insane. So, but certainly, Jamahal Hill paid point accuracy and Glover's a little older. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like it.
$7,800, $8,400. I like Glover. I like him to win. I'm going to spend the $7,800. What do you think? You going to spend the 84?
You need the winner. I'm going to spend the 84 like in single entry, but if you're running multiple 150, even 20 lineups, going 50-50 here, I think is a good play. Glover, arm triangle, Glover, rear naked choke, totally in play. Jamahal Hill, flash knockout, totally in play as well. I do think, though, that hopefully, I mean, they're going to have like Herb Dean or somebody in there who knows what he's doing, not like that vampire Chris Tognoni in there.
Let him push it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if he does get dropped, they'll give him a chance to clear the cobwebs, dive for some legs, make Jamahal Hill back up and get back into the fight. So I do think that Glover's good in that respect, but for DraftKings, I think you need one side of it.
Sure. No, I mean, that makes sense because I don't think the loser will score well. I don't think this will be like the co-main event. The loser could potentially score very well. I don't think I'll see that here. I see the comment. I'll pin it in a second. I do have a bet on this fight. I got Glover at 1 unit money line at plus 130. He then went all the way down to plus 100 just 2 days ago. And then now he's back up to plus 125. So I think people are sort of having the same debate that we are. Like they could see all the outcomes. So I think the money, it'll continue to yo-yo a little bit. He's back to plus 125. People are like, hey, listen, plus 125, that means I'm more than doubling my money. And it's him, the former champion. Like, yeah, of course. And it'll move back and forth. So right now, a little bit of closing line value there. If you're a premium member, you saw that. If you're not a premium member, you can unlock all the bets, all the picks, fantasy plays, everything you could ever want, including a DraftKings optimizer for only $10 a month. Not an event, a month. All the events that month. WeOnPicks.com. Click become a member. I'm not going to touch this Monkey Knife Fight strike line. Do you have anything else to add for this fight?
No, not for this fight, but thanks for having me. I had fun. This was cool.
No, I appreciate you hopping on. This is Kunith, for anybody who doesn't know. Jacob is sick. He's sick. Fever, shakes. His butthole. A very graphic detail about what's going on down there. So he's not here. I reached out to Kunith. He's got his own channel. He does breakdowns just like this. Lots of DraftKings content. Make sure you follow him. I 100% appreciate you hopping on for sure. So thank you very much for that.
And I know you asked like 20 people before you got to me and you asked your wife, but I appreciate that they turned it down and I got the opportunity.
Sometimes, that's how it works. Last chance you, right?
There you go.
It worked out for you. Here's my plug. Become a premium member for all the reasons I've listed 100 times over. So instead of listing that, if you're already a premium member, and there are well over 1,000 of you, link your Discord. I think only a couple hundred of you have linked your Discord. It's free. You click the link Discord button. And what that does is it gives you the instant alerts to your phone. Literally, while we were filming this, Jacob placed a bet, put it in the premium alerts, and I got the alert on my phone. That is what matters, especially when we talk about bets and stuff that has line movement. So you can get ahead of that. And if you want $50, weonpicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners. Make a deposit. We'll send you $50. It's affiliate marketing. They pay us. We pay you. It's all very easy, very clear. Do you have any final words for the people?
Thank you, chat. Big Capper's not ankle picking my channel though. No way. Not with this takedown defense.
Oh, and sorry, we had this super chat. $2 from Jordan Wiener. Angelo pushes the pace to the fridge and then gasses. Fat jokes are not allowed. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. All right, man. Well, appreciate you hopping on. Genuinely, give him a follow. I wish you took a screenshot of your subscriber count before and after this so that, you can see what we did for you. And, I'm always happy to help. You know what I mean? This is me helping you.
I'm looking at it right now. It hasn't changed.
It went down, surprisingly. But no, thank you so much. Genuinely appreciate it.